It's August 25th and week 2 of Monster Book revisions. This week was emotional, like really, really, really intense. News that I just got an internship at one of my favorite publishing houses ever, so that I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself. I just got that news today, actually. I interviewed yesterday, so everything happened really, really fast, and nothing ever moves this fast in publishing, let me tell you, so it has been an absolute whirlwind. What else is going on this week was Pitch Wars. Pitch Wars picks were announced yesterday, and this entire week has just been, highs and lows of Pitch Wars stuff, and I'm so excited, though, to finally get to work with my mentee. Molly's YA Contemporary is absolutely amazing. It's about a girl who joins the boys' golf team, because there's no girls' team at her new school, and it's an amazing hate-to-love romance, and it made me like golf, which is amazing and incredible. Because of all this stuff happening this week, my progress on Monsterbook was okay. It could have been better. I started working on all of the Act 3 changes that I had come up with last week. And good news is I don't hate them. I really, really love them. And then I also had to reconfigure what happens at Carnival, because Carnival follows immediately after the island. And I had a really hard time piecing that together, but then that all kind of was improvised. Like, I was more pantsing it, because when I finished writing the island stuff and I moved right into Carnival without much of a plan, I just knew it had to be different than what I currently had. And that was an adventure in pantsing, and it was great. It was so much fun, and all of the darlings that I had to cut, like all of the big romance moments at Carnival that had to go, were changed into something else, and I love them so much. So kill your darlings and you'll have new darlings. Like, I'm so blown away by what Act 3 of Monsterbook has turned out to be. And so I'm super close to getting to the end, actually, of the manuscript, and then there are still some things I have to go back to the beginning and change and fix and tweak, and then, I don't know, the draft actually might be done soon. Like, it won't by any means be the final draft. I'm probably going to send it to beta readers and CPs and stuff and get their opinions, and then I'll probably do draft 3 with their feedback, and then depending on how I feel about it, I'll either do a second round of readers or I'll send it off to my agent. I have video from earlier this week, so here is a little bit of video for me revising at work earlier this week. Revising at work. Then, on Monday, I was at a viewing party to see the eclipse, and I had my laptop with me, and I was working, of course. So here's a tiny bit of footage of this dog that was sitting next to me for most of the day. It was the cutest thing in the entire world. It was nice. It was so cool to be revising, like, under an eclipse. I was like, magic. And then also on Tuesday, I was actually out with my friend Brittany at a Starbucks in Brooklyn Heights. We had like a writing date. So mad props to Brittany for getting me out of the house on Tuesday, because one, it was super humid and gross and horrible, like the perfect day to just be inside with AC nonstop. And unfortunately, I also got my period that day, so I was in horrible pain. I had the worst cramps and just a general, like, hurt everywhere. So I got a lot more work done with her than I would have if I had just, like, stayed home. I would have, like, slept all day probably and been generally a lump of a person. So thank you to Brittany and our writing date at the beginning of this week. It was exactly what I needed to keep progress going. And here's also video from like 2 in the morning. Oh my gosh, so it's 2 a.m. and I just wrote what I feel like is a really good scene. I'm really excited. Today was super hard. I was PMSing and just, like, not feeling well. But I watched, the new Game of Thrones tonight, and just usually tend to always feel inspired after Game of Thrones. And I took a shower to de-stress because, I'm just full of anxiety watching Game of Thrones now all the time. And I thought about the book, and I thought about the scene, and it was when Caro has her dark moment of the soul, and she leaves the Cutlassiers, and I rewrote that whole sequence tonight, and oh my gosh, I think it's really good, and it's 2 a.m., and I have to wake up early so we can go get a good spot to see the eclipse in a couple hours, but I'll sleep well knowing that I did decent work today.